Masters, Nathan Brennan Masters Tech. Today we're going to check out an action camera from a company called MGcool or MGcool. And in the interest of full disclosure, this camera was essentially given to me for this review. So this is the package it comes in. I got to give them props on the very Apple-esque packaging here. Very small, doesn't take up a lot of space, and it actually ships with all the good things that an action camera comes with, and you'll see that here in a minute. Now, this is a 4K, interpolated 4K action camera, and that means that the 4K is not particularly real. They double up on the 2.7K resolution to emulate 4K resolution. So depending on how it's done, it may or may not look good. Now, I believe this is a native 2.7K camera, and that's going to become relevant in a few minutes when you're actually looking at the footage. So let's get into the unboxing. So as you take the top off here, you see the camera's right there, and it's in the basic case that many of these action cameras come in. So very nice. And again, I have to compliment them on the packaging. Now, I'm going to be a little bit rough here. I've actually opened this package before, and in the interest of kind of saving time, I'm going to kind of yank this out of here, because the way they have it set up, it's kind of hard to, you have to kind of fiddle with it to pull this top out. But all of the stuff is located under the bottom here. So I'm just going to yank this right here. Yank it! This darn thing out of here. There we go. And basically you'll see that it comes with all the goodies that these action cameras come with. And I don't know why I put that back in the box. I could just poured that out on the table. Now, this camera does have, like I said, all the goodies that you're used to these cameras coming with. The actual housing that goes on there, you know, that you would put onto the tripod, it actually comes with one of those. It's just that I didn't put it back into the packaging when I was repackaging for the unboxing. So, and there's the camera itself. So now I didn't test the actual housing for how waterproof it is, because I rarely use these cameras for that type of application. But if you check out my guy over at Worth It or Not, he actually does an underwater test. He has a pool and all that good stuff, so you can check that out there. Alright, so this is at 1080p, the basic setting. Now when this camera comes to you, it's actually set on the 4K setting, which the 4K setting is actually interpolated. So it's not real 4K, but what are you going to expect for $50? I mean, you know, it is what it is. Just wanted you guys to get a taste of the onboard microphone so you can hear what it sounds like. This is the image. It's pretty much comparable to many of the other action cameras in this price range. It's not going to blow anybody away, but it's certainly usable, especially if you're using this for a dash cam or home use, or even if you want to start a YouTube channel. You're new at YouTube and you don't want to spend too much money on like one of these hot new cameras. These kind of cameras are incredibly useful for cheap vlogging cameras. And I got to give them credit where credit is due. The colors on this thing are really nice. Now, this is a pretty solid slow motion mode. This is 720p at 120 frames per second. Now, of course, when you use this mode, you're going to lose a little bit of resolution. So you want to use this in the day, outside situations like this, where you can get a lot of light in there, and you get to keep as much resolution as possible. Now, if you want to quickly enter 720p at 120, then you click the button on front 2 times and you're there. That's one of the quick modes on the camera. So it goes video, photo, and then slow-mo. 2.7K mode, and I think this is the camera's native mode, and I think they're up-resing and down-resing from this, which makes sense. You can see the immediate increase in quality and resolution in this mode. This would be the mode that I would use most of the time. So this is really a nice in-between here. So you got this, and then you have the 4K mode, which is what they are advertising. They're pushing the shark eye, which we'll be talking about in a few minutes, as a matter of fact. But this is the 2.7K mode, and this is probably the sweet spot where you want to stay, unless you specifically just want to have 4K footage to work with and to upload, so you can say you have 4K quality. So let's get into the 4K and take a look at it. Alright, so this is the 4K test. So this is what, we're wilding out over here, wilding out. So this is what the camera looks like in 4K. Alright, so this is what they're touting as shark eye, which is a lens that they say is capable of delivering distortion-free 4K. So, and also, I saw they try to take a little jab at my guys over at SJCam, and to keep it real, this is looking pretty tight. I mean, this is clear, really nice looking footage from this lens, man. So, but you know, SJCam, they're having none of that, and they say they'll be hitting me up with an SJ6 Legend, so we might have to go one-on-one to see who will be the great one.
Oh, could you pull me out of camera?
So you got that guy in 4K. There you go. Don't say I never did anything for you. Now, this camera has kind of a weird way of actually changing the settings. Now, typically with cameras like this, you click the button on the front and it takes you into the photo mode. Then it takes you into the settings, which will allow you to go through various resolutions and things like that. Now, this is typically done in about 3 or 4 clicks, and it's pretty, you click it once, you click it twice, then you click the top button to do what you need to do. The top button is your selection button, and you're using the 2 buttons on the side to scroll through. This one is a little bit more complex. So you get into your video mode right here, and then what you do is you click it, and it takes you into your photo. Then it takes you to the 720p slow motion. This tells you if there's a card in the camera, and then you get this. And you have to actually hit the select button on top to actually go into the settings. And then you can hit the arrows on the side to scroll through them. And then to get out of those settings, what you're going to have to do is actually hit the button on the front again a few times, then hit the select button on top to actually get back into video mode. So it's a little bit clunky there, if you ask me. So, take that for what it is. Like I said, it wouldn't be a deal killer for me, but again, you have to keep in mind, I got this camera as a review model, so someone actually buying this camera might have a different opinion. And my final issue, if you will, with this camera is the screen itself. It's kind of a cheap screen, and the viewing angles are kind of iffy. So, it's a $50 camera that obviously cut corners in some places to do some pretty cool stuff in other places. But the question is this a good camera? Hey guys, Future Nathan here. So when I reviewed this camera, I asked the question, is this a good camera? And at that time, it was. For $50, this was a decent camera. Today, no. No, it's a bad idea. You can literally get an SJ4000, which is easily a better camera, for under $50 right now. And you may say, but Nathan, that's a lucky shot. You're not always going to find that on eBay. But you'll probably find this on eBay a lot. These GoPros for $64. You see those on eBay all the time. So I think nowadays they sell these cameras for about $35 or something like that, $39. If you can find it for that price, and you know, the 2.5K, you really need 2.5K, then grab it. But I wouldn't pay $50 for this. And as a matter of fact, I think they repackaged this camera. A lot of these older companies are repackaging their cameras. Even SJ Cam repackaged the SJ4000. It does 4K now. I don't know if it's interpolated or not. I haven't really researched, but there's so many options now. I don't think there would ever really be a reason to buy this camera unless maybe you're buying it for a kid or something, just so that they can have one. And everybody's cell phone is probably better than this right now. But this is one of my older reviews, so I'm going to get the SJ Cam stuff up. I'll probably do that sometime tomorrow or Tuesday, somewhere in there. I'm trying to decide whether I want to put it all up in order or how I want to do it. So other than that, guys, you take it easy. I'll have another video later on today. I'm not exactly sure which one it's going to be. This morning I uploaded the video about binaural mix, so if you're into nootropics and stuff like that, you might want to check that video out. But check you guys later. Hasta.